Flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living, living, flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living, 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 living. You don't need to wait till you're underground. You need to receive them here and now. Flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living. Hello and welcome to Flowers While You're Living. I'm your host, Cheryl Thomas. And as you can see, I'm dressed in pink today. This is the last day of the month for breast cancer awareness. So I thought I would represent for all those. And today my guest is Reba Gilbert, and she's a costume designer. And I'd like for you to look at this little mini bio.
Reba Gilbert. Reba got her first sewing machine at the age of 5 when she became interested in sewing and design. She started by designing and making clothes for her Barbie doll. When she reached high school, Reba designed clothing for herself, including a prom dress for her senior year at Fairmont West High School. When her first child was born, Reba started making baby clothes, and she continued to make clothes for her children through elementary school. Unfortunately, a friend, Tisha Clark, was injured during a theater production and was unable to complete the work for Kettering Children's Theater. Tisha offered the opportunity to Reba. She found her niche as a costume designer, where she worked for various local children's theater groups, as well as serving on the board of Vandalia Youth Theater. Later, La Comedia and Paramount Kings Island offered her a position as designer and seamstress as well. She later became a design consultant and seamstress for Calico Corners in Nashville. Bridal alterations came next. While taking film classes from DATV in Film Dayton, she decided to pursue costume and wardrobe for film. The short film, Paul Laurence Dunbar, an American Poet, was filmed during the COVID shutdown. For this work, she received a rave review from Film Threat magazine. Commercial projects have followed, including one for UD Flyers and Premier Health Network. Reba enjoys volunteer opportunities at DATV. She also is involved in a clothing ministry. Writing courses were offered at Film Dayton, and she is currently working on several film and TV scripts. Reba has honed her craft for over 50 years and has enjoyed sharing these gifts and talents for over 30 years.
Welcome, Reba. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. It's a blessing for me to be here. I feel really honored, and I'm happy to represent the Dayton area.
Now, you've been doing this for a long time, and you made doll clothes for your dolls as a child. So you saved your parents a lot of money then, didn't you?
I did, but I also had them spend a lot of money because I love the Barbie designer originals, and I had some really cute outfits. But I also added to that as well because my mother sewed. So she helped to teach me to sew.
Okay.
I did feel like I had some bit of a talent, but she taught me how to sew. I had a little pink Singer sewing machine, and so I did save them a lot of money by making the clothes. So I used her scrap fabric
That's what
to
I was
make
just
clothes.
getting ready to
so
say. Yeah, you used the scraps and put something together.
I did with the scraps. So keep in mind, folks, if you just have scraps, you can make a lot with scrap fabric.
Oh, I believe that. I believe that. So now you've been doing this for over 50 years. And you've shared your gift with others. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Well, yes, I've been involved in theater, and I've done some volunteer opportunities as well, and working in quilts to make things for disabled veterans or officers in action or military men in action.
Okay.
So I've worked with them on that. And then I donate some fabric as well to organizations. So I don't always get to help them as I'm busy, but those fabric, again, the scraps, that helps. And so they
Right.
use that for their quilts.
Exactly. So now you made baby clothes like for your child
For my
or
children, yes.
children. Okay.
Yes.
And so what did you make? I mean, like dresses, pants,
I
everything?
made dresses, skirts, slacks. I liked, I wanted to make them things that you couldn't buy at the store.
Okay.
So I like little corduroy jumpers, and then I'd line them with flannel because we do get cold here in the Midwest.
Right.
So I'd like to do that. And I made little T-shirts with matching panties because, you know, little girls, they bend over.
Right.
So it matched their little outfit. I just enjoyed making things for them that were different.
Okay. So now you was a designer for Loca Media
Yes.
and Kings Island.
Yes.
So what did you make for them?
I made, well, at La Comedia, I did a lot of beading work. And I did do a production there. And I am trying to remember the name of it. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten. But it had to do with the 1930s era. So we designed clothing for that, and we made those from scratch.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we did the period clothing. But I did do a lot of beading, and beading is one of my specialties. It's something that I love to do.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Now, in order to be a designer, you have to do some research before you can do anything. You need to know what type of show it is or what era. And so you have to do your homework, correct?
I do, and that's why I love history. So that helps a lot because when doing that, I want to do my research. So I want to make it historically correct. It just, you know, it depends too. You have to work with the director on that and to see what their vision is on it. They may not want it historically correct, but it's best to do that and have that knowledge. And also, I think in working with the actors and actresses, they feel better. It helps them with their role because that historic value that they feel takes them back into that period so they can reflect better on their role and do their lines. So, yeah, I think it's even more enjoyable to the audience.
Okay, okay. So then later on, you became a design consultant and a seamstress. Did you have people working under you, or how did that come about?
Well, I got this job by accident. I ended up going into a store in Calico Corners, and there were people in there who were having difficulty matching up the fabrics and patterns. So I was helping out a few of the customers in the store. So the manager offered me a position. I loved it. So yes, I did do stitching as well. I did make some things as well, but we had a workroom. So I had to take everything. I had to take measurements, go to the individual's home, work up a page where I took fabric, put that on there. I made a scope for that. And I had to send those to the workroom and make sure everything came back correctly. So I wasn't directly supervising them, but it was in an indirect way.
Okay, okay. So now you also had a friend that had gotten injured, and she was what did she do?
She did sets. She did theater sets.
Okay, and what was her name?
Tesha Clark.
Tesha Clark.
And she was working with a crew, and someone was fixing lighting, overhead lighting. They fell off the ladder, so she was trying to break their fall.
Oh.
And so it injured her, and she was not able to complete that assignment. So I had made a dress for her, and she'd seen over the years. She was a family friend. She saw how I had made clothing over the years and had asked me to fill in that spot for her. She'd had a contract, and she needed someone to fill that for her. So I took over, and I loved it so much. And I thought, this is what I have to do. I love the kids, love the parents, and just the whole process of working with kids. Because I found out that I probably learned more from the children than they learned from me.
You. Okay,
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that was great to be able to work with the children like that.
Yes.
So now let's talk a little bit more about your clothing. You have a mannequin here, and could you tell us some things about it?
Well, yes, it's It's a jumpsuit. It's from a modern fabric. It's a cotton knit underneath. It has a metallic foil reptile print on top. And I'd ordered it online, and I got the fabric. I thought it looked a little tacky. But when I got it, I thought I wanted to make a jumpsuit, and I like the funk era. So I like the music, and so I decided to make a jumpsuit for that purpose. So when I attend funk events or concerts, I can wear this, or if I do filming of the events, I have an orange belt. Orange was very popular during that period.
Okay.
And so there you go, that's where periods come in.
Right.
So then, of course, these hats were also, this is a vintage hat. This is a 1960s wool hat.
Okay.
Made back in the 1960s. This is a 60s belt. And then I also have shoes as well with the chunky heel. So I know they don't totally match the gold, but when they are put together, they don't look too bad.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, and then I've got another item here. I've got a belt, and this will take things into a different direction. So this is an original belt from that era where they wore the funky clothes.
So when you're talking about the funk, you're talking about like in the 70s and the
60s,
80s.
70s, and 80s. Yes. Mhm.
Good music.
Yes, good music. So I'm a music fan, so I did that for that reason. I thought it would be fun.
So now, like when you get ready to go somewhere, like the funk, like you say, you'll say, well, let me whip up something right quick.
Well, I try. I try to do right quick, but I keep myself involved in a lot of projects, and I could. But this was the first time I used this pattern.
Okay.
So the next one will be right quick.
Okay.
This one was a little bit slower.
So
it
do
took
you
me a
need
little
a
time.
pattern to make clothing, or can you do it without one of those patterns you get at the store?
Well, I used a pattern for this one. It's a Vogue sewing pattern. I
Okay.
have to give credit where credit's due, but I can make the patterns as well, and that's what I did for La Comedia Dinner
Okay,
Theater.
okay.
Yeah, and for different. I also did some things for high school groups where they had their drum corps, and I designed outfits for them as well. So.
Oh, okay, okay. Now we're going to get away from the clothing thing, and I want to ask you about the film Dayton. I need you to talk about that, because I've never heard of it until I looked at your bio. And what is Film Dayton? What do they do?
Film Dayton is an organization that brings filmmakers together in the Dayton area. And we do have some come in from Cincinnati. There are many filmmakers that live here. And so Film Dayton, they coordinate with film companies. They also provide talent. They have a database where they showcase our talents, and they can choose or reach out to us to do the work. If they come in from California, wherever they're coming in from to do the filmmaking.
Okay, so these are the film people that might need somebody to do certain projects, and they'll look at you on the database and go, okay, I need that person right there.
Right, and we also, Film Dayton provides film locations. Lisa Grigsby is the Dayton Film Commissioner, so she brings everyone together. She claims she has no talent in film. She doesn't know anything about it, but she likes to bring people together. So we have monthly meetings, and we do networking. It's a marvelous group. That way we can talk to each other, network, and provide a good film community. It provides work for us, and it also provides revenue for the community.
Okay, where is Film Dayton located?
The Film Dayton office is in Centerville, Ohio, at the Dayton Mall.
Oh,
Centerville, Miamisburg area.
okay, okay. So if I wanted to join Film Dayton, how do I go about that?
Well, you can go online to Facebook, and you can look under Film Dayton. You can join there. You can come to meetings as well. We have a meeting on the third Wednesday of every month, and anyone is welcome to come to the meeting. Even if you don't want to do filmmaking, if you're just interested in film, that's all you need.
Okay, okay. So then also you worked with the Kettering Children's Theater.
I did many years ago
Okay.
when they first started, and I think we're going back probably almost 30 years ago.
Okay.
So I served on the board then, and we did some The one I did love was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
So that was one production we had, and I specifically love the Oompa Loompa costumes, and I wish I had the pictures. They're in
Oh,
my
yes.
storage unit. I'm a
Okay.
creative, and I'm not very organized, so
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, well, that's all right. So, again, with these different organizations and things, how do you go about being with, like the Kettering Children's Theater, or if it comes back up? Or
Yeah, if someone would want to get involved,
Mm-hmm.
I would call their theater office or go on Facebook and just show that you have interest in that.
Okay.
But I have no college degree.
Mm-hmm.
I have no official degree. But I've been able to, God has blessed me, I've been able to do what I love. So, not that a college degree isn't important, but you don't have to have one. You just have to work really hard.
Okay.
You have to work really hard, but
Right.
it's a passion.
Right. So now, what are some of the other children theaters that are around here?
Oh gosh, I have been away from that for some time now,
Okay.
so I haven't kept up with that. There are many theaters in the Dayton area. I know they have some for children as well. I haven't honestly followed that, but there's a lot of talent in the area. There are
It
a
is.
lot of
It is a
things
lot.
for children.
Right.
I know that Stivers has a great program at their school
Right.
for theater and art.
And I don't know if Ponents have one or not, but
I'm
they
not
might.
certain. I know Ponents has a great radio station, and I've met the kids there. They're wonderful. It's a great school at Ponents.
Right.
So I just say the opportunity is there. If you look for it in Dayton,
You'll find
you
it.
can find
Yes,
it.
you
And if
can.
you just check with your local community theater group, there are Facebook pages for art groups. There's
But
a Dayton
the-
Art Institute.
But the thing is, you need to do your research
Right.
before you send your children out there. You need to do your research on the organization, the people running the organization, and different things like that. Do your research for your kids and for yourself.
I totally agree, and many of the very reputable ones, I probably undergo a background check once a month or once every
Yes,
other week.
yes.
So, but make sure that whoever is doing that has had a background check. And when I work with children, especially when you're in a dressing room, you're kind of in an intimate
Right.
situation, right? And so, even going back 30 years when you didn't hear of all of this crazy stuff going on, I always made sure I had another parent or someone in there with me.
Right.
And, they would change their own children. So I was very cognizant at that time
Okay.
of how people should be treated.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and taking into consideration the children and how they would feel
And that's good.
about a situation.
Right,
So,
that's a good thing.
and that's something that people do need to keep in mind.
Right.
To talk to the children beforehand. This is a costume we have. We're going to have your parent help you with this.
Right.
Do you have any problem with it? Because we don't want to scare kids away.
No, you don't. You really don't. So let's talk about Caesar Ford Theater.
Oh, I love that place.
Okay, now
Yes.
where is this?
It's in Xenia. It's in
Okay.
Xenia, Ohio. And how that happened for me is I think they had something either on Facebook or they reached out to Lisa Grigsby at Film Dayton about someone to do costume work. So she referred me, and I got that. So it was a wonderful opportunity for me. I worked with Caesars Ford Theater. They did Colonel Charles Young, and they did Paul Laurence Dunbar, a poet. So I'm so blessed to be able to do both historical films.
Okay. Now, explain that to me, that theater. Where is it? What is it like?
Well, they don't
Is it
really
outdoors?
They do have an outdoor.
Okay.
They do have something outdoor. It's not really a brick and mortar building there. It's an organization, but they are working now on some Native American films for the Shawnee Nation. So they've brought them in from Colorado. So I understand Kane Stratton is working on that, and he was the director of the film And he was also a writer for Paul Laurence Dunbar, a poet.
Okay, okay.
So-
The reason why I was asking about that, I remember many years ago, they had a theater, outdoor theater in Xenia or around in that area.
Right.
And they actually had like, it was a Western type of event. And the horses and the Indians and things like that. I didn't know if this is the same place or not.
I don't think so. It could be.
Okay.
I'm not certain. I don't want to say that. But that was Blue Jacket.
Yes,
You
Blue
remember? It was
Jacket. I
Blue Jacket. It
remember
was
that.
great. And
Yes.
so for some reason, not. But I think they're going to try to have more outdoor things of that type.
That
and
was,
it was
really
wonderful.
nice. Yeah, you'd get together with like your church group or whatever, or any kind of group, and you would go and I think they had like little lunch for you to eat, and you could watch the show, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, great talent. And they had also, they're going to do some outdoor concerts as well.
Okay.
So I'm sure they probably have a physical location.
Okay.
I just haven't been out there. But folks, check it out online.
Right. Everything is online.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
online. Yeah.
So now you took classes down here at DATV and Film Dayton. Are you wanting to still pursue your costume and wardrobe designing?
I do. I never want to get away from that.
Okay.
But I also, I love learning the camera. I'm not saying I'm a super expert at it, but I love the process of filmmaking. I think it's really amazing. And I find the process of doing the wardrobe incredibly easy.
Okay.
So that's not something I'd ever really give up. I have to work harder at camera or different things like that, you know. But right now I am working on a children's program.
Okay. Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
here at DATV, and I started filming that about a year ago,
Okay.
and couldn't find the footage. And they say, "Oh, Reba, where is your footage?" Because in order to borrow the equipment, which I did from DATV, we
Okay.
provide them with footage so they can put it on their program, and that's a fair exchange. So I, as disorganized as I am, I finally found the footage.
Okay.
So I've been taking classes on editing, and so soon it will be out. I'm using my mother as a character, and she will
Okay.
be leading the children's show, because I feel like that so many kids maybe don't have their grandparents anymore.
That's true.
And the world is such a place that it's almost scary for kids. It can be wearing for small children now when it shouldn't have to be. So it's a grandma there who understands, and she wants to lighten things up for kids. So that's where I'm coming from on that.
Okay. So now with this children's program, are you doing it in-house at DATV or out somewhere?
I'm doing it at my mother's house.
Okay, at your
yeah, so
mother's
it's easier for her. She's 87 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, still going strong, but she does songwriting, so
Okay.
that's something she does.
So
at home.
you're probably incorporating a lot of that into this
Yeah, and I'm
program.
hoping she can write a little children's story or make up a story online, and also she's made up some children's songs, so hopefully we can put that in there as
Okay.
well.
So now, along with that, what era is it that you're doing? It's up to date. It's
Right,
the
for
latest.
For the children's show, it's up to date. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how many children are you expecting?
Oh, we're expecting millions. I dream
You dream
big,
big,
Cheryl.
yes,
I
you
dream
do.
big.
You
I'm a
dream
dreamer. I've been
big,
told I'm a
yeah.
dreamer.
Well,
I'll take
how
that.
do they get in touch with you if somebody has a child that might show an interest in doing something like that?
And watching the show, you mean,
or being in it? Can they be in it?
Well, I had not thought of it from that point of view, but I'm always open, and that's something that I could think of. There might be a child that would want to, so that's you've triggered a great idea
Okay,
there. You're a
all
very
right.
creative
Well,
lady,
that's a good thing.
We will be putting that on DATV. So once I get that first one edited, I want to see how the people react to it.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and put it on YouTube and most likely Facebook as well, and we'll see.
Right.
We'll just see what the kids think of it, because
What's the
that's
name
who.
of it?
I haven't given it a
Oh, you
name
haven't
yet.
given it
Thank
a name
you.
yet. Okay.
Once I do the
All
editing,
right.
I'm thinking, something to do with grandmother, or
Okay.
grandma. But yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So now, all your training that you have done down here at DATV has come in handy to do this.
Absolutely.
You rent the equipment, well, you take out the equipment and you use it where on location, and then you bring it back in, you start editing on your show.
Correct. I've learned so much from DATV. I've had some incredible editing classes, and there are no limits here at DATV.
Right, right.
They are so good. They'll provide you with any help you need. All you have to do is ask.
Right, they do. And they're great people here at DATV.
So I've learned so much about filming, about using the switcher, setting up the equipment, just, so many things. Also, I'm learning the editing. You learn about lighting and sound, and it's incredible. And there's a lot to learn.
You might be thinking one thing, and they'll give you an idea on, hey, why don't you try this here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're wonderful.
Yes, they are. So now, I guess what I'm going to ask you is, along with DATV and Film Dayton, what else do you do?
I do some writing.
Okay.
I do a little writing.
Okay. So you do script writing or?
Script writing, I'm thinking of a couple of books.
Okay.
Yeah, some inspirational books, but I do some script writing, and I've worked with 3 other writers in the Dayton area.
Okay.
And we came up with a comedy television show.
Does it have a name?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Hotel Purgatory.
Okay.
So we're waiting. We had written it for a certain celebrity. She did reach out to me, but has not picked it up. So, as you say, flowers while we're living.
Right.
I don't want to let that wait too long. So we have incredible talent here. So I'm trying to encourage them for us to go ahead and film that here. Also, I have been writing a feature script on my life in the music business.
Okay. Now, when you say the music business, do you sing? Do you play instruments? Or what is it that you do in the music industry?
I'm glad you said that. I cannot sing. I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Okay.
As far as an instrument, I played an accordion when I was a kid, so I could get like Weird Al. It's been a long time. But my instrument is my ear.
Okay.
Strangely enough, an ear can be an instrument, I've been told. My ex-husband was a music publisher, so we were in the music business. We lived in Nashville, Tennessee. So we had an office next to the Buddy Lee building, and we had a catalog. We pitched our songs to major artists in the music business. So yeah, he was an engineer and producer, so I helped do some master engineering as well.
So
yeah.
you're a person of many talents.
When God gives much, He requires much.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's talk about the Paul Laurence Dunbar, an American poet.
Yes.
Now, I know you worked on that project.
I did.
So, what was it about? What was your part? Just talk about it.
About the life of Paul Laurence Dunbar and some of the challenges he went through as an African American and a poet in the Dayton area. And my role was the costume designer to get everything together. Now, I didn't design them, but I had to make certain that everything was period, everything worked, and you have to look at the scenes, work with the director and make sure that everything works. I did this during COVID, so it was a really tough time. There was nowhere really we could meet. They were going to do it as a live performance, but instead we had to record it.
Okay.
So we ended up recording that. And I did have the actors come to my house. Some we did Zoom if they had some of their own clothing. So A. Slate came to my house. A. Slate played the role of Paul Laurence Dunbar.
Now, who is A. Slate?
A. Slate is a female.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a female. She has her own ministry. She has a nice following. But she's a female. She played the role of Paul Laurence Dunbar, male.
Okay.
So I have this beautiful woman come to my house to play the role of a man. She had long braids, long nails, nice curves.
Okay.
And I looked at her, I said, she was so kind. I said, what is your role? And she said, Laurence Dunbar. I said, oh my. Well, I said, would you be willing to lose your braids because I can't put them in a hat,
Right.
you know? She said, of course, the braids go.
Okay.
She was so professional. And I said, well, you know, you have your fingernails, and, you know, the men, they don't have fingernails, you know.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, so she said, yes, you'd lose that too. And I said, well, we have to make you look like a man, so we need to bind you. That's fine. So she was a real trooper. I think she did a great job playing that role.
Oh, okay. Did that shock you? I mean, when did you know that you were going to have to work with a female playing Laurence Dunbar?
When she came to my house.
That was the first time. Okay.
That was the first time.
Okay. You were probably looking behind her to see if there was a man behind her.
Yes, but she was very lovely. It all went well. And we had a great time. And because we had nowhere to work, we worked in the street. So I dressed them in the street.
Okay. Well, that's something.
Because of COVID.
Right,
Yes.
right. COVID, it shut down a lot of stuff and rearranged our lives.
Right, but you know, it gives you resiliency. You know, you learn how to compromise, how to make things work.
Right.
So I mean, they weren't like naked on the street, but you know, we made it work, and it did
understand.
work. And Kane did a marvelous job. Did it all in one day.
And then where was this on location?
Laurence Dunbar's home.
It was in his
Yes,
home.
so it's very
Okay.
historical.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is true to
Because I was
history.
looking at it on YouTube, and it was just a couple minutes long, and to see the molding and the wood and the furniture in there, and I said, this got to be somewhere around here in Dayton, and that's good that it was, you know, there.
His own personal home.
Okay, well, that is great. So now you've also received rave reviews.
They love the
And
costuming.
that was
It-
from the Film Threat magazine?
Film Threat magazine, and they love the lighting, they love the costume wardrobe, they love the whole Laurence Dunbar film. And this was a short film, but I'm hoping that they would turn that into a feature film. We've
film,
been to
right.
film festivals with that, and
Okay.
everybody loves it. It is so well loved that I'm hoping. You know, you don't know. Will there be a budget? Can we get everybody back together?
Right.
There's a lot involved there, but I would
Exactly.
love to see it go
Yeah,
as
that
a
was
feature
interesting.
film.
Like I say, it wasn't that long, but it was
No.
interesting, you know.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Okay, now you have some commercial projects such as the UD Flyers and Premier Health Network.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
Explain those.
Oh, well, that was a lot of fun. So we did some things, people in the stadium, we had to get them ready with, you know, painting their faces, and I helped the makeup artist, Ann Taylor, do that. She was the one who got me on this project. She has done makeup for presidents and all kinds of famous people. She does
Okay.
big film. She lives right here in the Dayton area. And so we had to get the doctors into suits.
Okay.
So the doctors were doing like a review of the Flyers, as you would see on an NFL football game, how they dress in their suits and
Right.
give their reviews. So the doctors were doing that, and we had to get them. We got them into some fun suits. So they didn't look like doctors when I finished with them. So
okay.
yeah.
So are they aired on TV now, or how
don't-
long ago was that?
It was a couple of months ago. I don't think it's aired yet.
Okay.
But it will be very soon. Also, I worked on one. I was not doing the wardrobe, but I was a production assistant. There was one for eBay,
Okay.
and we did that at Stoll, which is a watchmaker, and that's here in this area.
Okay.
So they're authenticators for eBay for the watches. So I got to work on that, and the commercial's on eBay right now. It's a really good,
Okay.
really good commercial.
So people know about you and they'll call and say, hey, I got an idea. I got something I want to do. And they'll call you and say, hey, can you do this?
Well, sometimes just a few days ago, I got a text message and said, we need somebody to work as a production assistant.
Okay.
Could you help us out? So I'll get a text once in a while. It could be a production assistant or wardrobe.
Now, what is a production assistant?
Well, a production assistant helps in all the phases to help a producer to get their work done. You can help with wardrobe, makeup. You can take things from point A to point B, make sure everybody's safe, make sure they're fed, just whatever the producer or director needs.
Okay.
You're there. It's like a gopher,
Okay,
but I love to
that's
do it.
all right.
It's a way to learn.
Yes, you do learn that way, right.
And it's a good networking process,
Right,
too.
exactly, because that's what we do down here at DATV. You know, we do different positions from the director to producer and things like that, and it gives us experience where if we go out and somebody sees what we do, they might need you for this commercial or for this film or this whatever, you know.
That's correct. And I heard that people watch DATV from all over the world.
Right, they do.
And that surprised me. I shouldn't be surprised, but I was born here in Dayton, at Miami Valley Hospital.
Okay.
And I was born and raised in the area. So I lived in Nashville for about 5 years, but I came back. And I just love this place. I love Dayton because it's so rich in inventions, in science, in creativity and art. And it has everything to offer.
Right.
And
does.
I am and can do what I do
Okay.
because of the community.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
And if it weren't for what that made me what I am today.
Okay, okay.
So, you know.
So now, talk about your clothing ministry.
Oh, thank you for asking
Oh, not a
about that.
problem.
Well, my daughter, she got involved in her church at this clothing ministry. It's in the Huber Heights area. It's called the Master's Closet. We accept donations, and so everything that comes in is sorted and hung up. Everything's clean that's given out. We charge nothing for the items at all. It's the, I think it's the fourth Saturday of the month. We give away clothing items. Just this past week, we served over 600 people.
Wow.
So it's not just for the Huber Heights area, it's for the community. So I love it because we have it set up in an old schoolroom. And their classrooms, we have it sorted by teen room, adult room, and children's room.
Okay.
So when they go in, we have it set up like a retail store. And everything's sorted. So we want people to have dignity when they go in.
Okay.
Not like, you know, here's this, or dig through things,
Right.
or, you know, we want to make them feel like that they're special, they're loved.
Exactly,
You know, that,
exactly.
you know, they might be going through a hard time, but
Right.
hey, you know, we've all been through hard times.
Right,
And
and
hopefully
that's true.
we want to make somebody feel better. We want the kids to have decent clothes for school so they don't get bullied. And
Right.
so it means a lot to me.
Okay, well, that's good. That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
That
because
is.
nobody pays for anything. There's no money exchange at all.
Okay. So now, where is this located? What are the hours, if you know?
Well, there are no hours. Well, they have the second Tuesday of the month is when we have collection day
And this is where?
in Huber Heights.
The name of the place?
It's called the Master's Closet.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the street. I just
Okay,
go
that's
there.
Okay. It's called the Master's Closet.
The Master's Closet in Huber Heights.
Okay.
Charlene Bruggeman is the director of the program.
Just Google it.
Yes.
Google
Go on
Master's-
Facebook.
Just Google it, Master's Closet.
It's on Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And they're lovely people there. We just want to show the love of God to people in
Mm-hmm.
the community and let them know that they're important, they're
Yes,
special
they
and
are.
loved.
They are.
And everybody is, you know. And we have people who come in from other countries who
Don't have anything.
don't have
Right.
anything. And so, you know, it warms
They don't
my
know that our
heart.
weather changes.
No.
Like today. It's
Yeah,
cold.
today, so we'll put the sweaters out
Right,
for everybody.
exactly.
We gave out coats you know, I think it was about a week ago. So we're starting to give out the winter coats and
Okay.
for people. So we
Okay.
want people to be warm. We also have a ministry where we have certain things that we give to the homeless.
Okay.
So we make sure we reach out to them.
Right.
And during the tornado, We took items out to
Oh,
people on
yes.
site.
Right, right.
Yeah, so we have a trailer now, so we go on site and hand out to those
Okay.
in tornado or any kind of natural
Situation,
disaster
right,
situation.
Exactly. Yeah, because people are caught without, the babies don't have diapers, sometimes we don't have
And sometimes we
toiletries and
have, if we
things,
have
yeah.
extra items like that, sometimes we get donations.
Right.
And we'll give those out as well. So, sometimes people adopt children and they'll say, oh, we're foster parents, we've got 5 or 6 kids. There's a mother there that has 13 children, natural children,
Yeah,
but they need help.
right, right.
So,
That-
yeah, so all
just
they have
'cause-
to do is call.
Right,
And we
exactly.
appreciate any donation we get. Like I said, no money exchange at all. It's totally run by volunteers.
Okay, that's a great
And we
thing.
would love any volunteers if you'd like to sign up. We have a great time, great time of fellowship, and it's just very rewarding.
Yeah, anytime you give of yourself, it's rewarding.
It is. And so my love of clothing, I've tried to translate that to
Right.
use it to give back.
Because, people might want to go on a job interview,
Right.
and they want to look their best.
Right.
They want to feel their best.
Right. And there is one located in the Dayton area where you can go for clothes that work.
Okay.
So we don't give out a lot of things. People don't ask for those types of items at
Okay.
this location. But when we get those items, that's where they're sent, clothes
Oh,
that work.
okay.
So we work locally with other
Organizations.
charity organizations, so we
yes.
work hand in hand with them.
Even Goodwill, you can find some nice things.
Right. So if we get too many things, we may send them to St. Vincent's or
Right,
Goodwill
okay,
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you take other things other than clothing?
We'll accept them. Sometimes we have to, give them to other organizations, but we make sure.
Okay.
It's primarily clothing. We take shoes.
Okay,
We're always
shoes.
in need of teen items for males and shoes for men. So, yeah.
And that's like I say, any kind of ministry that you can do to help others is a beautiful thing. So, now we talked about your ministry and everything. So now, is there anything else we need to know about Reba Gilbert?
I don't know.
Oh, just search through there and
Search
see if
through
there-
that brain,
yeah,
search
see-
through all that stuff that's up there.
Exactly,
Well, she
exactly.
loves to dance.
Okay.
She loves to dance, yeah. So you might find me at a local concert up there in the front,
Dancing,
in front of the
right,
band,
right.
dancing the
At
storm.
the Taylor Swift show, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no, didn't go to Taylor Swift, but yeah.
Okay.
No, I like more of the R&B and jazz type music, so
Okay.
that's more my,
Cup of tea.
yeah,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, did you say you was from Dayton?
I am.
What school did you go to?
I went to several schools, elementary schools, but I graduated from Kettering Fairmont West.
Okay.
And I went to Van Buren
Okay.
Middle School.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, look, that's all the time we have for this show. And as you know, the name of my show is Flowers While You're Living. So what I want to do is give you these flowers.
Oh, thank you
Okay.
so much, Cheryl.
And
They're so beautiful.
A lot of people don't recognize, other people and their talents and their worth and everything. And I think we should, give everybody their flowers.
Oh, thank you. God
so-
bless you.
Well, God bless you
I feel
too.
so touched and so honored.
Oh, my pleasure. So what I want to do is leave you with this. Don't pray on the problem, pray on the solution. Till next time, I'm your host, Cheryl Thomas, with Flowers While You're Living. Flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living. Flowers while you're living, flowers while you're living.